to our Try It Tuesday. This is the card we're going to make. I hope you can see that. It's a very simple stamp masking technique. We're going to do the card and the envelope. There you go. And first of all, I'm going to show you what you need. Okay, the stamp set we're using is the Butterfly Basics. Lovely stamp set, lots of different images in here. A couple of things that aren't essential, but if you have them, they do make life a little bit easier. The first is the Butterfly Thin Lids dies. We're going to use this die from the set. If you don't have it, don't worry. It's a very simple shape that you're going to cut out anyway. The second non-essential, but I find it helpful, is the piercing mat, which is the foam mat from Stampin' Up. So this is what I use when I'm stamping with photopolymer stamps. Then for the actual thing, so this is what you do crucially need. Okay, so we have the banner punch, we have adhesive and dimensionals, we have a note card and envelope. So this is from the pack of 20, the Whisper White note cards and envelopes. We are using Wild Wasabi, Sahara Sand, Sweet Sugar Plum ink, the Wink of Stella clear brush, and the Sweet Sugar Plum ruched ribbon. The Sweet Sugar Plum being a new in colour for the 2016 to 18 years. And then all the additional bits, oops, sorry, I've got a bit wonky there. The only additional bits of cards that we're adding are 2 strips. We've got a Wild Wasabi. This measures 1 inch or 2.5 centimetres by 4 inches and 5/8 of an inch or 11.7 centimetres. And then the Whisper White strip is again 1 inch or 2.5 centimetres by 4.5 inches, which is 11.4 centimetres. So once you have everything ready, we're going to get started. The first thing you need is your note card. Okay, when you get these out of the packet, you will see that one side has a dip in it where it's been scored, the other side has a slight bump. The side that's got the dip, that's the outside of your card, so that when you come to fold it and burnish that score line, because it's already been pressed and the fibres have been stretched, you won't get any rippling when you come to make the spine of the card. The first thing we're going to do is stamp on the inside. Okay, so this is the edge with a slight raise. This is where I bring in my piercing mat and a piece of scrap paper. Okay, this is just for photopolymer stamps, just to allow a little bit more sponginess, I guess, is the word I can think of when you're stamping. So the first ink we're going to use is Wild Wasabi. And the first stamp from the set is the fern. This is the long fern. So I'm going to ink up my stamp, and because I actually just want a shadow image, I'm going to stamp off onto my scrap paper, and then I'm going to stamp inside my card. As you can see, I've got a slight variation there in ink because I didn't press down quite firmly enough in the centre, but it's not too bad. I'm going to run with that. Okay, flip the card over. We're now going to work on the front of the card. For the first section, we're going to use the Sahara Sand ink. Oops, daisy. There we go. And we're going to use the honeycomb die. Sorry, not die, stamp. I'm going to use the honeycomb stamp. All I'm going to do is ink this up and take it across the bottom of my card 3 times. Now, because it's photopolymer, you can see straight through and line it up. It doesn't matter if you get a slight overlap, because of the type of card looking quite vintagey, that actually adds to it. So that's the first part we're going to do. The second part is we're going to stamp the butterfly. Okay, so this is where the Sweet Sugar Plum ink comes in and the butterfly image. Again, ink up the stamp and place it. You're not going bang in the middle, you're going slightly to the left, bit of a jaunty angle, and pop that down. Okay, so there's your butterfly. Now what we're going to do is mask that butterfly, so when we stamp our next fern, it looks like the fern is behind it. 2 ways of doing this. The first way is to get some just sticky notes, stamp on the butterfly and cut it out. Or if you do have that butterfly thinlits die set. As I say, the small one is this butterfly shape, so I've gone ahead and cut this from the sticky note, making sure that I'm as close as I can be to that sticky edge, so that I'm tacky onto this side. So once I place this over the top of my butterfly, like so, it just gently adheres on this edge, but it's enough to mask it while we do the next stamping. So we're going to come back to the fern and the wild wasabi, ink it up. We want full strength, so I'm going straight to it and straight over the butterfly. Gentle pressure. I'm going to make sure I press down firmly in the middle though, just to make sure I catch that this time. Take that off. Now I'm going to do what I call a shadow stamp, which is how I did the insert. So I'm going to ink it up again, stamp off completely onto my waste or scrap card, and then come back again and go over the top just to one side. Okay, lift that off. Now I'm going to peel off the post-it note. You can save this, you can use it as many times as it will stick basically. Pop that to one side, and there you can see the fern now looks like it's behind that butterfly. Okay, at this point we're now going to fold the card blank. So I'm going to go in, fold the card blank in half, bone folder. I didn't have that on my original list of requirements. I just use a bone folder to burnish that scoreline. I'm bringing back in now the piercing mat because I just want to stamp some more of the honeycomb. So Sahara sand and honeycomb just across that top edge. So again, 1, 2, 3, and this time I haven't done it as deep as the bottom. And again, it's just to add a little bit more of a frame to the image there. Okay, our next piece of stamping, we're going to move away from the card now and bring in the 1-inch wide strip of Whisper White. And onto this I'm going to stamp the happy birthday sentiment. Again, all in the Butterfly Basic stamp set. It is a lovely, lovely set. And I'm going to ink that up in Sahara sand, place it into the centre and stamp. And there's your happy birthday. And then I'm going to bring in the green. So this is the wild wasabi, which is cut, as I mentioned in the beginning, 1/8 of an inch longer. The reason for that will become apparent. So now with my banner punch, the 1 inch is the centre groove, so it will slide straight in. And I'm just going to punch both ends, like so. And again with the wild wasabi. I actually wanted to say welcome back really at the beginning of this video. Although I haven't done many videos, I have found out this weekend while I've been preparing to do videos that I've been teaching stamping and crafting for over 8 years. I can't believe how quickly that time has gone. I've had a break, but I'm glad to say that I am now hoping to be back, and that's my doorbell. One moment. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, that was the delivery of a netball hoop for the girls for the 6-week holidays. I needed something to keep them entertained, so they both had great reports, so that was their treat. So all I've done there, as you've been watching, is glued together those 2 banners, just using the wet Tombow ink. And now onto the reverse of this, I need 2 dimensionals, which are Stampin' Up's little foam hexagons here. And then we place this onto the front of the card. So just down at this bottom sort of right corner. Then comes the bow. So this is where I bring in the Sweet Sugar Plum Ruche ribbon. Lovely ribbon, like it a lot. And I'm also going to use this gadget. Now this is from my previous stamping teaching days. It's not a Stampin' Up product, I'm sorry. However, I can get hold of them and I'm going to put them on my blog for those ladies that are interested. So I'm just going to make a quick bow. I am going to do a full video separately that shows you how to make basic bows like this one, and also many other types of bows with this little gadget. It's great when you're doing mass produced cards, because you can get your bows to be exactly the same size all the way along. Then that's my bow. I just need a little glue dot, which I'm just going to grab here and pop the bow onto the glue dot and pop it on that top corner. For the final touch, I'm going to use the Wink of Stella pen. Now this is a brush pen. It's the clear one. Now that butterfly is dry, I am just going to paint over it. And what the Wink of Stella does, it's the clear one, it's just going to give it a hint of a glimmer, just so that butterfly pops out that little bit more. There we go. Okay. So while I'm setting that aside to dry, I'm going to quickly do the envelopes. Okay, so for the envelope now, I'm bringing back in my stamping Pierce mat here with the scrap paper, and I'm just going to open up the flap of the envelope and lay that down. So I'm working on the outside of the envelope. There's a kind of a rope effect stamp in the set, which is lovely, and with the Sahara Sand, ink that up, just going to pop it across the top of the envelope flap. Then I'm going to take the Sweet Sugar Plum and the butterfly again. This looks nice again if it's stamped off and then stamped on, just to give it that sort of shadow delicate effect. Then I'm going to spin it round, and what I'm going to do now is the fern again. Here we are with the fern. Again, ink it up nice and thoroughly, stamp off, and then stamp onto my envelope. The next one is the honeycomb. It's nice to coordinate the envelope with the card. I just think it looks all that more finished, and just pop that across that bottom corner. And the final stamp, one which I actually love, is a little postmark stamp. Again, all in the set, and just use the Sahara Sand, and I'm just going to pop that on that top corner. So you've still got plenty of space to write a name and address and put a regular stamp. So there's the envelope. I'll move these out of the way and bring the card back in. And that is your first Try It Tuesday. If you are in the region of Chesterfield and you want to join me for Try It Tuesdays, you can do in person at the Posh Craft Parlour, which is attached to the Posh Coffee Bar in Clay Cross. The full address will be on my blog, and it's any time on Tuesday between 10 and 2. Pop in, join me, have a posh coffee, cake, watch me, and then make it yourself. Hope you can join me. Okay, take care. See you soon. Bye-bye.